night of the soul. Dark 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 night of the soul is a moment in which you lose all sense of connection with the presence of the higher order of being. What you formerly believed has gone out the window. Your old identity has begun to evaporate. The new identity hasn't emerged yet. So you're in that proverbial no man's land. And that can last for a short period of time, or it can last for a long period of time. And the dark night of the soul, understand, it's not, you don't have a dark night of the soul because someone died, or you lost a job, or you got a divorce. That's regular sadness. That's the sadness of loss, the sadness of somebody dying, the sadness of a structure in your life. Dark night of the soul is something different. You could have nothing wrong in your life, and then suddenly there's a bereftness. That generally means that either through grace or through spiritual practice, past life or present, your new identity is emerging, but it hasn't emerged yet, and you're not who you used to be. So you don't know who you are, you don't even know what you believe. And in the dark night, if you can ask a question such as, what quality do I need to give birth to have peace of mind if this were to last forever? You start to work with something like that. Now, why is that important? Generally, when an individual is in a dark night, they go through wishful thinking. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't who I was. I wish I'd done something differently. I wish I'd made different decisions. I'd made poor choices. You know, it's a kind of a wishful thinking. You know, those things can never happen because you are who you are where you are, and this is what's happening. So to the degree that you can pull yourself out of wishful thinking and ask a different kind of question, when the dark night is over, you found that you are a little bit higher in your transformation because you didn't waste the time asking futile questions. You want to ask an empowering question. And most people, when they're going through something that's debilitating, they'll ask a disempowering question. They'll ask from a victim state. Why me? Who's to blame? What's wrong? And the mind will just go rapid with those kind of questions, but they don't take you nowhere. They take you on a downward spiral, or you will end up mining the database of human consciousness of all of the negativity that's ever happened on the planet. That why me? What's wrong? Who's to blame? You just pull in all the frequency of all the suffering that's happening on the planet. So you have to ask an empowering question. A question such as, you know, what good is present that I cannot see right now? What's seeking to emerge in my life right now? What gift is being born in me right now? What talent is being honed? What power is being cultivated? What's trying to unfold? What am I seeking to give birth to right now? Because you know, when birth is happening, it's very intense. It's a very intense period of time in a woman's life and in the infant's life, you know. And so in the same way, we're always giving birth to something. And so we have to ask a different kind of question. Now, here's the deal. The universal presence, by whatever name you choose to call it, I call the presence limitless love intelligence, or a presence that's never an absence. It's life itself. This universal presence, through the universe and the universal law, will answer any question you ask. So if you ask what's wrong, it'll tell you all the things that are wrong. If you ask what's trying to be born, it will begin to show you potential that's within you that's seeking to emerge. And when your attention starts to shift more towards the potential rather than the problem, you begin to understand a universal truth. Potential is always bigger than problem. Your potential is always bigger than any problem you're facing. You start to see your potential. And when you focus on that, the answers from that realm start to come as guidance, wisdom, transforming knowledge, spontaneous goodness, insight, ahas, perception changes. Simply by asking a question that empowers you rather than takes you down. The perception of the victim is largely different from the perception of the individual that is having more dominion over their awareness. It's the difference of looking at life from the valley or from the mountaintop. When you're looking at life from the valley, life is totally different. You see the obstacles, hindrances, obstructions. When you go to the top and you're able to look down at everything, life is quite different. So when you ask a different kind of question, your perception expands and you see life from a much wider expanse. And you're able to make more deliberate choices from that awareness. The trick is, in the moment of your angst, in the moment when it's difficult, ask the question. You know, what's trying to be born here? What gift is trying to be given? And that's when you want to ask. It's easy to ask when everything is going well. But you want to ask the question on such a regular basis that when things seem to be contracting, you're still asking an empowering question. And that becomes a practice, and then that becomes a way of life, and then you start to develop the capacity to deeply listen. You're always in a listening space. You know, guidance is here, wisdom is here, direction is here. That underlying question keeps your listening faculty acute and available.